Alrighty, Coach, great victory for you guys. Why don't you take a little bit of time and talk about the game, what you felt the difference was, and kind of the ebbs and flows of it a little bit. Go ahead.
That's a really tough team, and they do a really good job of getting you to speed up and pressuring the ball without necessarily fouling. And so that's, I think, a really difficult thing to do, because then you're trying to go to the rim so hard to draw contact, and they don't do that. So I was really proud because we found a way to slow down and then use a change of speed to get to the free throw line a little bit more, which I thought made a big difference in the game. Number one. Number two, I was really happy with our defensive effort. Their guards can get to the rim incredibly well. And I haven't really looked at the box score, but I thought we did a pretty good job of containing for the most part. They're really tough to defend, and when we needed to, we really locked it down and made them take some tough shots.
And you didn't give them a lot of second chances either. You guys pretty well dominated the boards, right?
Yeah, I think we'll talk about 8 offensive rebounds later. No, I'm just kidding. No, and that's a big key to their success, because they get to the free throw line really well as a team. And then they get a lot of offensive rebound putbacks, and we knew that we needed to make sure that we took care of one of those, and we did put them at the line quite a bit, but definitely worked really hard to rebound, and Brooke and Ella were really physical down low. I thought they did a fantastic job, even if they weren't getting the rebounds, of creating contact, boxing out so other people could go get the ball.
Right. Liv, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a few questions. First off, great game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For Coach, so there's 10 days now until you guys play for a national championship. How do you plan on approaching that extended time off, and are there any positives or negatives to waiting?
The nice thing about being ready for this is we have a very similar break between the NSIC tournament and the regional tournament, just because of timing of facilities and stuff like that. So I think it's something that we're very familiar with, and that's always been a thing for me as we've approached that every year, trying to figure out the balance of how much do you push them, how much time do you spend in the gym, how much time they need to rest, and so it's challenging, but I think we found a way to give them some breaks, come back, go hard for a little bit, take another break, and then have like 3 or 4 hard practices before we play.
What are your thoughts on participating in the special 50th anniversary celebration of Title IX, where all 3 divisions will crown their champions in Dallas?
I think it's amazing. I feel really lucky, and I don't know, and you two can probably piggyback off of this, but like when I'm looking up here and I see Karen Strummy, there's so many amazing women that came before us that worked their tails off and made sacrifices and did the dirty work so that we could have moments like this. And I think I'm even just a little bit below that age gap where I was really lucky. I was never pushed aside because I was a female. So to be here, it's a pretty unique thing. And I keep looking at the Title IX 50th anniversary sticker on the basketball, and I think it's so cool. And we've talked about that a lot. But I think it's, to get to the national tournament, incredible, and to do it this year makes it really, really special.
Last question for you, Coach, before I head to the student athletes. Obviously the game just ended, but looking to Dallas, how do you balance your team's nerves or any distractions while also enjoying the experience?
I thought they were going to be super nervous, and I said something to them the other day, and they're like, no, we're like ready to go. And I'm like, no nerves. They're like, no, we're good. I'm like, what? And I think they're lying and full of it. But, I think we prepare the same for every single game. And at times there are going to be nerves, and I don't know how on that stage what it's going to feel like. I think it's going to be an incredible experience, but we will prepare exactly the same way. And I'm really lucky because I have a mature group, but I have a group that is really determined to have success on both ends of the floor. And so when we're preparing for games, I think we're breaking it down into segments, and I think I would assume that is or appears to be their focus, and hopefully that kind of gets rid of, enjoy the nerves. Like, nerves are your body's way of telling you something great's going to happen sometimes, but if we can do that, then find a good balance and use that little nervousness that we have for energy and strength, I think that'll be a really good thing.
For the student athletes, what are the emotions knowing you're headed to Dallas to compete for a national championship?
It's hard to try to wrap your head around it. Even coming to the Elite Eight and into the Final Four, it was like, I don't think it's going to hit me until afterwards. So I'm really trying to like soak it in. It's really nice to have like 10 days off so that you can actually like relish the moment and be able to like understand what's actually happening. But kind of going off of the Title IX, I remember it being announced 3 years ago, and I'm like, that is so exciting, just for women's basketball in general. And now to be a part of it is going to be so much fun. So we're just excited to be here. We've been talking about this since my freshman year, me and Mason coming in, and just hoping that everyone would kind of get on our backs and just work. And I think our group is doing exactly that. And it's been such a fun year, and so I'm just really excited to have one more game. So
yeah, I think it's like she said, it's kind of hard to put into words. As a little girl, this is kind of what you dream about, playing basketball. And I know like going to college games, like you look up to those girls, and even like girls would come up to us when we were talking to our parents right now, and like right up there, and it's surreal. It's hard to put into words, but it's so exciting.
I know you just won the game, but thinking ahead to April 1st, what would it mean to you for your school to win the national championship?
I don't know how I would react. Honestly, I might pass out, I might cry uncontrolled, I don't know. But I think we gotta play 40 minutes first, and so I think we're just, again, Coach is going to have a great scout for us. We're going to be really prepared going in, and then we're just going to try and be in the moment and play 40 minutes and hopefully get the job done and bring home a trophy to Duluth. That's crazy. It's hard.
For anyone that wants to answer, just talk about your time here in St. Joe and just being a part of this tournament and what the city and Civic Arena and all that has been for you guys.
I think this has been run, bad at English apparently, really well. Our experience, we walked into the hotel and we had somebody meeting us with a gift bag, and the hotel's decorated with Elite Eight, and we see Elite Eight everywhere. So that experience just from the start has been wonderful, and even in this facility, everything is run really smoothly. I think they're enjoying every little bit. The gear, I think is the most, the thing they like the most. They're crazy about the backpacks that they got, but beyond that, I think they're doing a fantastic job. This arena looks great. We were here a few years ago, so I think the changes that they've made are, I mean, this is a great facility to have this tournament, so it's been run really well, and you seem to be having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just for you guys, how, like the community, I saw some of the middle schoolers and some kids like signing stuff. You guys have talked about that a little bit, just the community and even just people from St. Joe coming just to watch some women's basketball.
I would just like to say that Brooke got knocked out in lightning first by Evan.
I did. Yeah, shout out to Evan. I mean, I just love that women's basketball is getting the recognition that it deserves, and especially at the D2 level as well. This is some really good basketball, and so I was really excited to kind of have like a little bit more of a packed arena. We travel really well with family and friends, and so I knew that we were going to have people, but then also like Catawba bringing their dance team and everyone and their band. It just really created a really great environment, especially coming off of like a home-hosted regional tournament. It was awesome. I thought the energy was great here.
Yeah, it's fun to like play for your team, but also like knowing other people are here that don't even know you are supporting you, so you want to play for them. Make it a good game and just make it enjoyable.
Liv, you got anything else?
Yep, just a few more questions. What does it mean to represent your team and Division II at this Final Four?
That's really hard to put into words. Kind of going off of my team, I love these girls, and they're my best friends. And so every single time that I get to go out on the floor and put on, this jersey, I find it as a blessing. And so I think me and Mason have just been talking about, it's really emotional. I almost cried before the game. I was just like, gosh, we just love, we love you all, and we just love each other. But then to be going to the Final Four at this Title IX 50th anniversary, having all three divisions there is going to be so great. Like we love basketball, so hopefully we can maybe catch some of the other games. But I think hopefully we bring a really competitive game, and hopefully we win. But if we don't, then that's great. But it's going to be a great experience either way.
And then I know you guys touched on it, but for this being the 50th anniversary of Title IX, is there any additional significance to this year and game for you?
I think you just want to do it for the people before you. and just show how far we've come. And I think, like Brooke said, women's basketball has come so far, and to have the recognition that it deserves, I think is really special. So it's important to all of us, and we want to do our best for that.
Awesome.
Mandy, tonight, Brooke picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter, put her back in, and it worked. What was kind of your thought process? Was there any comparison to the way things were going on Monday? And how excited were you to see it pay off the way it did?
On Monday, she's probably still mad at me. On Monday, we went on a 9-0 run, and that's not because she went out of the game. She's incredible, and so that we had a little bit of a safety cushion, and so the whole time I looked at her, I'm like, Brooke, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do right now, and so I was just kind of waiting, and when we were able to keep that lead, I felt more comfortable, putting her back in the second half. Today, the way that this team plays, we knew that we needed to get her some touches down low because it's really impactful and she's so talented down there. So with the pressing, she was going to have more opportunities, and so we knew that we were going to need her scoring. And fortunately, when she got in foul trouble, so did their post players. And so we were able to put her in the game when there was a less aggressive post player on the floor. And so I felt more comfortable, and she's looking at me, you can trust me, coach, you can trust me, I'm good, I won't foul, But I thought I was more comfortable because one of their post players that had foul trouble were more aggressive, and that was a greater chance for her to get her third foul.
Brooke, beyond just the whole early foul trouble thing, what were some of the ways that you were able to attack them on the offensive end? I know the, what's her name, 25 was pretty formidable down there, and a couple other, you still dropped 36, I think it was. What were you seeing out there, and what were you able to take advantage of?
Yeah, their post players were really good, really physical. And I remember Mason was just like, get it and go. Like, she was screaming at me, just like, she definitely willed me to just get it going. So I think that trust in her and that motivation from her really helped me just being like, okay, like if she needs me to do this, I'll do it. And so I think that's a credit to Mason and her trust in me and her motivating me.
It seemed like there was kind of a quick whistle tonight throughout, just for any of the 3 of you. How did you adjust your game as you saw what was getting called out there? Do you feel like you were able to adjust a little better? It felt like they had more foul trouble problems in the second half than you guys did.
We saw they were calling the whistle a little bit more, so we just had to be aggressive and take it to the rim as hard as we could and hope to get the same foul calls. So I don't think we really did anything different. I think it was just have the same mindset of going up strong and just finishing.
I haven't looked back in some of the previous stories, but I'm fairly certain Mason did not come out of the game tonight.
She did, yeah, 40.
That poor girl. This is the second time that we played a pressing team, and she had to play 40 minutes.
I assume she must be getting like IV solution or something for a game like that, but how proud are you to have a player and a teammate that could face up against a team putting that kind of pressure in there, play 40 minutes, and be as effective as she was?
She was incredible tonight, and I don't even know what her stat line is, but she continues to just be a phenomenal leader for our program. She's poised, she's smart, while she's playing 40 minutes and having to do the most of the ball handling while being pressured, she's also guarding, I think, the player of their top scoring guard, and she held her to, it was a team effort obviously, but she scored 11 points, which was 8 below her average. And so for Mason to be able to do all that while playing 40 minutes and be poised and calm everybody down, she is a fantastic leader. Like, she never gets enough credit for what she does for her team. And I know that basically every press conference I've ever done with Brooke, that's all she does is rave about Mason and how important she is to her. And so, I hope people realize how impactful she is for our program.
Third quarter, you held them without a field goal. Defensively down the stretch, how were you able to take away what they wanted to do and put them on the back foot down the stretch of this game?
I thought we did a really, like you talked about adjusting. Every game is going to be different style of play, etc. And I thought we adjusted because they were really attacking hard middle. and we were getting into them, and we were trying to block their shots all the time, and then they're getting to the free throw line. Well, you saw in the second half, we were kind of running with them, but we stopped trying to swat at them, and I thought that made a really big difference. One, they wanted contact to help create shots, and two, I don't think they were getting to the free throw line as much after that. And they did a really good job of adjusting.
I guess just my last one for you guys. Thank you for chain questions and all that. You've talked about the road to Dallas, and now it's right there in front of you. Just how much of a relief is it to achieve something that you've spent months talking and thinking about like this?
I don't know if it's relief. I think it's just more pride of knowing that we were able to do this, and that like we've been talking about it for 5 years, and everyone's been telling us like be patient, like we're right there. And I think this year has just been an amazing year, and I'm so glad that I'm doing it with everyone beside me, but also this is a credit to every single person in our program since it began. I mean, even when Karen was coaching, she had a huge dominating force and kind of lost that excellence, and then kind of came back, and we wanted to bring that back, that tradition. And so I think it's more pride than relief. No one's ever done this in UMD history, and so I'm really just excited to keep making history and hopefully make some more, and just really just relish the moment as much as we can.
I think let's go ahead and wrap that up and give you guys a chance to celebrate a little bit. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.